Welcome back to this series on migrating from Mix to Mix It Up. I think I just renamed it like right now as we were talking. I'm going to focus on migrating from Streamlabs to this. I would assume the process is very similar for Stream Elements. Anyway, and so I might not touch all of the different high-level stuff that this can do, but trust me, you can do a lot of high-level stuff with this thing. So we're gonna just move on to our next topic, which is going to be commands. I think commands is the next really, really big topic, because if we look back here at my CloudBot, here's the list of commands that I have, and look at all these commands. Oh my gosh, so scary. Yeah, so here we go. So we've got this list of commands that I have over in my friend Streamlabs, and I've got now commands over here. Now again, I set this up a couple weeks ago, so there are things that you are not seeing. For example, you are not seeing right now, if you go to commands, audio, chat, and points. You are seeing points though if you did follow this series and set up your points category or points system. However, you will see them just all here in this nice little interface. You won't see it saying points. Well, Keegers, how do I add that points thing? Because that looks really like a good idea. That is a good idea, and I'll show you how to do that right now. So you're going to see these things here. You're going to see that add all points, add points, give points, and user points. I'm just going to click on this. So the first one is play. It allows you to test the command, and if you've got something like OBS or your Twitch chat up, it will actually show you that. And then you can do edit command, so we're going to do that. Now, to me, this system was not intuitive. I'm going to be honest with you. The thing that you have to do to make this work is this command group is going to be blank. You can see here, I've got garbage in here, and to me it wasn't obvious. And this, I don't know how to make it obvious, but you just type in the category you want to have in here. So for example, again, I grouped all of this, as you can tell, by points. So I typed in points, and then I hit save. That's all I did. Okay, points, save, and then when you hit save, it will then be in its own little category. Actually, let's do that. Let's do points. I'm gonna do points 1. All right, so there we go, points 1. Save. It is now in a new category called points 1. Okay, so pretend that I typed that in. So now for your next one, you can just pull that drop down, and I can go to points 1 if I really want to, right? That is then how easy it is. So once you create that category, you will have the ability to go into that category and save things. Now I do want to point out that once I move this over, you will still have access to points 1 until you restart Mix It Up. If there's no category assigned to that name, when you restart it, it'll get rid of that name. So just in case you're like, where'd it go? That's where it went. All right, so now that you've sorted those points and you've seen that, let's go make our first command. I'm gonna go into my chat command, and I'm gonna look at, let's see. I gotta do a really basic one here. Discord. Let's go into Discord, because I think that is such a blatantly obvious one that a lot of streamers have, that you can just be like, bam. Space separated, semicolon. Oh, nice, okay. So, what do we got going on? Let's take a look. So first of all, we got our name. The name is literally just the name that you see here. So you can make this more descriptive than just Discord. Me, for example, I do need to add another Discord message, so I might have a different one, but IR Discord, Inner Realms Discord, that's what that's for. Next, again, you saw the power of the groups. I just recommend it from a organizational standpoint, because now I can tell you that these are my commands related to points. These are my commands that are related to chat specifically. They do output some sort of chat message, and these are audio messages. Really cool. Speaking of, I need to disable that one. Click. All right, so next you've got your trigger. That is what someone will type in to make this work. Now again, this is an exclamation point, because it automatically does that for you. You don't have to worry about it. So that is what that is right there. So again, name, group, I just recommend it, it's not required. Discord is the name of the command with exclamation point, and then this here will trigger that off in your chat to make it go. All right. And by the way, look at here, auto include that exclamation point. If you turn that off, there you go. Now you need to actually say that, because otherwise every time someone types in Discord, it's gonna pop up. So I'm gonna turn that back on. I am not certain wildcards does, so let's look it up. I love this. There's a question mark right up here, and we can just click on it. This is not what we need, so we're actually going to go into commands. This is their wiki, and we're going to go into command action. And nope, not that one. Oops. This is command editor. We don't have a question mark on. It would be really nice to have a question mark on here. I'm just being honest. Oops, come on, let me type. And I will show you that sometimes it's hard to do these things, but let's look at commands. There we go. All right, so let's look at wildcard. Doesn't say the wildcard. They do have their wiki really, really nicely set up where you can see really, really easily. First of all, like bold things are really obvious that that's what you want. Wild. All right, I'm not seeing the word wild, so we're gonna type in wildcard up here, and let's see. All right, you also have the option for wildcard support for chat command. This makes it so if any of the triggers you specify are found anywhere in the chat message as a whole, it will trigger the command. So for example, if you typed in the word what, and someone says what's going on, who, what, where, how, and the what, you will trigger that command, okay? So you wouldn't then need the exclamation point, you turn on wildcard and boom, now anywhere someone types the word Discord, the chat will then have the Discord link popped into it. Is that a good idea? Maybe. Depends on the command. Depends on your stream. Just be aware of that. So, include exclamation point, amazing. Wildcards, amazing. Unlock command, do not turn this off. There's a little pop-up thing that actually pops up here that tells you what this actually means. And basically, if you unlock this command, it will allow other commands to run at the same time. I don't recommend that because then if you get someone kicking off all these commands, they can keep running, all simultaneously. So picture if you've got like text-to-speech running and then someone kicks off another audio event, you have multiple things competing for your attention and it's not great. Highly recommended, do not unlock that command. All right, so that's just, man, we are 7 minutes in. I haven't even got off the top of this stupid thing. No, it's really great. Hopefully you're seeing all the power that this actually lends you, and I haven't even gotten off to this user requirements section yet. Oh my gosh. All right, user requirements, let's go over this really, really quickly because I think we can. First of all, user role. That should be pretty self-explanatory. You can set this to be a user role. So for example, I'm gonna pull up the points area back over here real quick. Gimme. You can see here that these are moderator things. Yeah, so you can lock it down to moderator, you can lock it down. I've got one here that's streamer only right there. So you can just say who is able to run this command. It is very, very nice where you can actually hit advanced and you can add different roles to this thing. So then that way you can have a different role maybe between Twitch and YouTube, for example. You might have subscriber being able to do it on Twitch and then the membership being able to run it on YouTube. Again, it allows for all that customizability. It's amazing. All right. Enough of that. Next, we got the lovely cooldown rate. Of course, you want to have cooldowns. Don't skip this step. I kind of wish this was required. But again, standard, per person, per group. You just want to have probably the standard. Again, this is in seconds, so that's every 5 minutes someone can run the exclamation point Discord and get the Discord link. Cool. Next, we've got our currency requirement. So again, we've set up that currency. This is why hopefully if you haven't set up your currency, you can do that. By that previous video. If not, it will actually tell you, you don't have currency set up, you can't do this. So just be aware that that's why you're seeing that. And again, you pick the points, the amount required, and then type it in there. We're not gonna do that, so we're gonna click off of there. Next, we've got our rank. Rank is also tied to that inventory system, or that currency system. I did not set that up. But you can set ranks based on points and other things in this system. Again, super cool, super cool. Again, could be the part of that separate points category thing. I don't know, it's however you guys want to do it. Inventory again is another part of that currency system where you can actually have people like necessarily buy things with their channel points, which will allow you to get inventories. Like, I think my friend Mika has bones. My friend Naku has gems, or whatever you call them. I apologize. Ores. I have it wrong. I'm sorry. Moving on. So you can have that stuff set up and do that. I haven't set it up. I don't know how to use it yet. But you can do that. Next, you've got arguments. Arguments are super cool, and I will go into them later. But for this simple message, we don't need them. Next, this allows you to run the command or have a response if someone has run the command so many times. I don't have a good example. I think it'd be a cool little game you could do where you need 3 people to type a command in chat, and then something will happen. That's what that means, right? So again, yeah, you can do, yeah, that's how that works. I don't have a good example of what to use it for yet. If someone has a good example, please let me know. I'd love to know, because I'd love to incorporate that into my stream maybe, or see what you guys are doing. And trust me, there's a way to see what people are doing. But yeah, just that's what that means. So again, if you have like 3 required users, so the command has to be typed in 3 times. If you give it a time span, so you have to be 3 times in a certain amount of time, so like let's say 60 seconds. And then this run for each user, I don't know if it only runs it for the last user by default or what, but I would have to look into that. I apologize. Again, I'm not an expert on all of this stuff, but I know enough to be dangerous on this one, and that's what that does. And last but not least, we've got these settings, which I do not know what they do, except the last one, delete chat message when run. So for example, if someone types in !Discord, you can have it delete that command from Discord. Probably more useful with like your moderator commands, where then people then try to sneak in and try to do mod commands. So just as an example. I'm not certain what this does. I kind of looked up the thing. I still don't get it. All right. Oh my gosh, we are 12 minutes in. This is supposed to be a simple chat message, and it is, trust me. So next, we're going to actually add the message. So this gives you the requirements of how to restrict that command to who can run it, why, how, all that stuff. Now we're going to tell the command what it's going to do. We're going to stick with this chat command, which is the very, very first one. That's how amazing that this program is. It says, hey, chat's probably the most obvious one. We're going to put this at the top. It's also alphabetically first, so we're just going to ignore that. But just so you are aware, that is what that does. There is all of these commands. I'm not going to go into all of them, but we're going to start with chat message. You hit chat message, you hit plus. You will then get a chat message up here that looks like this. There we go. Looks like that. It's super simple. You probably send as a streamer. You type in the message you want, and you hit save. That's it. Now that we're at the simple part of this thing, I know a lot of this stuff was built up, but hopefully I went into a lot of detail to hopefully get you there. Please reference all of that stuff when you need to. All right, guys, I'm going to try not to make this 15 minutes, but that's it. If you do want to, you can actually hit play right here. And when you do that, this window pops up and you can hit test command. And if you have Twitch working, my Twitch is not working currently, you can then see that in your editor. Sorry, I'm looking for something. Okay, so if I close that. All right, I'm closing Twitch real quick. And then I'm gonna open it back up and see if that resets Twitch. There we go, now I can do this. Bonk. And there you can now see, oop, nope, not what I wanted to do. Now you can see here, stop it. Windows, work with me. You can now see here what that looks like. So I'll hit play again and you can see when I hit test commands, it pops up right there and you can see what that looks like directly. Super convenient, super amazing. I love that feature. All right, guys, I'm done. We made it 15 minutes. Congratulations, Keegers. And yeah, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, clean jokes, want to know more about a topic, please let me know. Next time we will cover more of these commands because I think this is the meat and potatoes of this program, and we'll go into some more complicated commands that you can run. I love it. Anyway, guys, I will see you in the next one. Please take care of yourselves. Bye.